The fall anime season is looking to be really good, full of a lot of continuations, as well as some new stuff coming out. So let's dive into it, see what I'm going to watch, what I'm going to continue, and I want to know your thoughts at the end of it. So we're hopping right into it. There's a lot sitting over here on my anime list for the fall season that's coming out, and I'm kind of excited. There's a lot of good stuff coming. So let's just take a look. So right off the bat, we're seeing a bunch of season 2s and season 3s, as well as a bunch of good stuff mixed in. ReZero season 3, I fell out of ReZero, but I hear it's going to be very good, so we'll see what other people think. Uzumaki is one that I'm going to end up watching. I don't tend to like horror stuff. I'm not really into it. Suspense, yes, but this is something completely different. Uzumaki is a very known piece written by a very famous author, which some of you might know, which if you don't, I'm actually be surprised, but Junji Ito. This is getting a full thing. For those who don't know what it is, do a quick thing. In a town of Kurozuko-cho, Kirei lives a fairly normal life with her family. As she walks into a train station one day, she meets her boyfriend, Saito. She sees his father staring at a snail in a shell in the alley. Thinks nothing of it. She mentions the incident with Suichi. I can pronounce, I swear. She says that his father's been acting weird lately, and it's such a good thing. Talking about how the spirals, there's the town's infected and spirals out of control, and they see these spirals, and if you do, something ends up happening and they end up dying a very horrific death, and it's really good. I'm really hopeful for the animation because it is going to be done by Studio Drive, which I have high hope for them. And if you don't know what Studio Drive is, they've done a lot of things like Konosuba. Of course they put it on there, but the big ones like Konosuba, Fate Grand Order, Tempin, Actors, stuff like that. So it's very high hopes for them. Then we have Blue Lock season 2 that's coming out. That's going to be good. Blue Lock turned out to be really good. Very surprised. Sports animes aren't really up my alley, but there's a few of them that I really like, and Blue Lock is one of them. The Don Da Don. This is one that everyone's being really hopeful for, and I really think this is going to be really done very well. It's already got a Weiss set 2 on top of it, and trial decks they've announced already. They don't even have anything out yet for the show, so we'll see how this goes out. Spirit Chronicles, I just added this to the watch list, so I'm going to watch through all season 1 and then start watching season 2. So we'll see how this goes, but this will definitely end up in my watch list. Our Fruetta is getting a season 3. I recently did a list with Mr. Biscuit, and this is alright. This is a little too much for me, but for those who love it, you're getting a season 3. Congratulations. It's going to be 16 episodes, so you get a lot of content. So, have fun with that. One that I'm really looking forward to, which this might be the end of the Blood War. Bleach, 1,000 Year Blood War. I can't wait for this. I'm super excited. It's going to be such a good time. The animation's already peak, and they're reintroducing some characters, and I think if we're following the manga, this might be the end of it. Just really depends on the pacing. So I'm really excited and can't wait for to follow this and see what happens. Danmachi's getting another season, which I fell off. I might end up rewatching Danmachi soon so I can get caught up, but I hear this is going to be good. People are just scared if they're going to just go off the deeper end and rush a bunch of the light novels into this, so wait and see, and we'll find out. Shangri-La Frontier Season 2. Super excited about this. This is done by C2C, which has been blowing it out of the water with Shangri-La, and the story's so solid and so good. I can't wait. And then we have Gun Gale Alternative Season 2, which I've been really excited for because they did such a good job with Season 1 and the manga's fantastic. I can't wait to pick this up. And we got Blue Exorcist the next season, so that's going to be even better because they're actually following the source material and not just making stuff up like they did with the original. So we'll see with this. Ao no Hako. It looks like a rom-com. School and sports. Hold on, what was this one? Inomata, a third-year student in junior high, attends AMA Academy, an integrated school with a major sports program. Having joined the high school badminton... Oh, it's a badminton anime! Ooh! I might give this a step. Talk about how it's a rising star and there's a gap between different people. I am curious on how this is gonna go. You know what? I'll give this a try. I will give this a try. Badminton anime. Why not? Let's do it. Dragon Ball Daima, basically GT in the Super Universe. Really curious, definitely going to give this a try because, I mean, it's Dragon Ball, and I recently talked about this in a video that's going to be coming out after this, but how to get people, like adults, in anime and how to get your parents in anime. Dragon Ball is definitely one of those things that can do it, so I'm really curious on how they're going to present Dragon Ball Daima. It looks really good, really solid, super exciting. As a reincarnated aristocrat, I'll use my appraisal skill. You've heard me rant and rave about this. The first season was fantastic. They follow the manga very well. I collect the manga. It's going to be really good. I can't wait for them to play out this war. And as I was reading it, I'm really curious on how they were going to portray it. So now that we're getting it, I can't wait to see what they actually give us. You Are Miss Servant. This is one I was really looking forward to. So basically, this high school student lives alone, and then one day this girl just shows up and says, "Hey, will you hire me?" And he does, and he finds out she's kind of like an assassin, but she can like use a bunch of skills and stuff. So like, I'm really curious because the trailer they presented, like, they shows her saving him from getting like hit by a truck. It's like, it's really good. I'm really curious on how this is gonna play out, and since it's supposed to be like a romantic thing, I'm just I'm really curious. I kind of have high hopes for this. Same for this other one, Loner Life in Another World. Basically, this guy just gets transported, isekai, to another world, and he's not wild about adventuring, but he wouldn't mind, cool powers. But unfortunately, he is the last in line when it comes to magic cheat skills getting divvied up. I guess he's going to be put in front of a bunch of people, and then there's no good skills left for him. So now he's taken to a fantasy world, and he has to deal with it on his own, no powers, no nothing. He has a hodgepodge of different skills. And I'm really curious why he's the loner. So I'm curious if he finds out that like there's not that many males left, or his skill turns people like onto him and really wants him. Apparently from 7 Seas. So, but there's no manga, it's a light novel. Maybe there is a manga, but we'll see. We'll see what happens with this. I'm kind of curious. I do think this has potential, especially in isekai space. So we'll see. I think there's a lot of these, so I'm gonna have to like speed up through these. 365 Days to a Wedding. This is definitely like adult focused, and it's based around a workplace. It's gonna be very interesting. Basically, they're both single, but they don't mind getting like basically forced to marry. Now that it is what it is. It's how society things work. So I'm very curious because it also takes like centered around a workplace, and you got to deal with the pressures of work and having to live together in Tokyo and stuff like that. So I'm very curious. I've been asking for more adult-oriented anime, so really curious on how well that's going to go. Ron Kashima's Forbidden Deduction Season 2. Don't know anything about that, but if that's up your alley, you're getting Season 2. I Became a Villainess Who Goes Down in History. This one looks interesting. Alicia is the eldest daughter of the noble Williams family, a bloodline that excels in dark magic. Her jet black hair and golden eyes command a powerful presence, but her most unique features are, without a doubt, her sharp tongue and benevolent nature. By all means, she is a villainess, but also a fictional character from an Otome game. As an adamant admirer of Alicia, a young unnamed woman wishes to be her. Fortunately, a sleepy truck driver knocks her out into the next week and sends her, killing her and reincarnating her as 7-year-old Elisa inside the game. With sufficient knowledge, she basically plays out the game and turns it to her to her whim. So this would be interesting. I'm very curious. Also, I hate this design, by the way. If I'm reading something, it just kind of does that. It's so annoying. Ramno 1/2 remake. This is going to be great. Very excited for this. This is definitely getting thrown onto my watch list. It's Ramno 1/2. It's a classic. It's a staple. A lot of people love and appreciate this show. Yakuza Fiance. Raze wa Tangai. I believe that's how it is, or pronounced. It's done by Studio Dean, so this is going to be very good. This is a lot. It looks like it's going to be a high schooler that's forced to be a Yakuza fiance. Maybe, I think that's what it is. Like, she's the granddaughter of one of the leaders in a Osaka based one, and then she's forced to marry someone else in another Yakuza, if I had to take a guess. So that's gonna be interesting. I'll throw it on there, give it a couple of episodes, see if it actually keeps me pulled in or not. Natsume's Book of Friends Season 7. They're getting a Season 7. Don't know what that is, but that's amazing. Demon Lord 2099. It's a cyberpunk theme one done by JC Staff. Okay. Very interesting. Let me guess. Is this an isekai? It doesn't say. No, I don't know. We'll see. It has stuff to do with magic and cyberpunk. I think that can turn out very beautifully. Tying the Knot with an Amagi Sister, which is this. I've heard stuff about this, and I've heard people say this is very good. So basically, you follow this main character who ends up being a foster child and wants to achieve the dream of going to medical school. Well, he gets adopted in this new place and working at a shrine, doing a bunch of stuff. Then he learns he has to marry one of the sisters, so he has to figure out who he wants to marry and stuff. This actually sounds like pretty wholesome, might be very good. Very curious on how that's gonna do. The Do-Over Damsel Conquers the Dragon Emperor. This is done by JC. This is time travel, so we'll see. The fiance of the crown prince, Gerald de Colodus, and known as the Lady of the Goddess of War, is being hunted down by the same country she swore to protect. Betrayed by her betrothed, she is framed as a traitor in prison. In her last moments, Jill is filled with regret, and just as death approaches, she awakens 6 years in the past. Oh, so she can go back and prevent stuff. And so at that time, she decided she won't be a mere pawn. So this 10-year-old resolves to escape her immediate engagement and do a bunch of other stuff. So this is okay. This turn could be very good. Very excited for that. Definitely gonna get thrown on there. Kenshin season 2. That's gonna be good. Kenshin's already great. I've ranted and rave about Ronon and Kenshin plenty of times. After school, Hanako-kun's getting a season 2. Goodbye Dragon Life looks interesting. I heard stuff about that. I have no idea what this is. I skipped this because this is reincarnation, but this is the one where the wife dies and she comes back as a child. So like maybe I'll watch it, but I don't know. It feels like it could be really weird. I'll wait a little bit and see, but I feel like this is going to be a very weird one. But I don't know what this is. A healer gets booted from the party because the leader notices he really isn't contributing much to the team. Soon enough, the healer must look for a new party to party with. After finding a cute martial artist to work together with, he reveals his secret. While he's a fairly mediocre hero, he actually fights well in close-to-close combat. The story of a support who's secretly a DPS. I hate the website design when it does that because I'm trying to read. And where the entire conflict stems from fact that he's never told a party once he was DPS. Ooh, that's interesting. Okay. So he was put on as a healer and he's mediocre, but he's actually pretty good at DPS. That's interesting. I can get behind that. 7 Deadly Sins, the four Knights of Apocalypse. That's getting a 2nd season. Something done by Madhouse. It's supposed to be a historical one. What is this? Chiyuki no Udo ni Suite? MF Ghost Season 2 is getting coming out. That could be interesting. If you definitely like driving anime, that's up your alley. Let's see here. 15th century Poland. When a heretical idea led those who possessed such a mindset to be burned at the stake, their beliefs. Rafta, a child prodigy, is expected in a major theology at university, the most important subject at this time. However, one day he meets a mysterious man and begins researching potential truth and heretical ideas. That could be interesting. I'm always down for a history anime, especially if they're definitely going to like put a twist on. Demon Lord Retry. I think that's the 2nd season, or this might be the 1st season of it. I'm not sure. I've heard that's pretty good for an isekai. Nina, the Starry Bride. Haven't heard anything about that. The more notorious talker runs the world's greatest what? The world's greatest clan. Okay, this could be interesting. Noel longs to be a seeker like his heroic grandfather, slaying the beast that emerged from the abyss and exploring far-off lands. Unfortunately, it turns out he has nothing but a measly talker, a job with no combat skills whatsoever. Undaunted, Noel sets out to establish the strongest clan in all the land, using his silver tongue talker skills to unite assassins and heroes under his leadership. Okay, that looks like it could be good. For some reason, it's giving me Horizon and Middle Nowhere vibes, but I'm definitely interested in that. Is this another historical one? And Samurai. I'll know Miburo. It's 1863, the twilight of the shogunate, and Japan is on the cusp of a monumental change. The streets of the nation's capital are soaked in blood under political upheaval and in rising tensions between masterless wandering ronin and the government samurai set the stage for one of the most turbulent times in Japan's history. Young orphan Neo is no stranger to the harsh realities of the world, but yet he can't help but cling to his burning passion for justice and desire to change the world for the better. One day he crosses paths with 2 men who will become central figures in the revolutions to come. Hijikata Tozio and Okita Soji, to 2 founding members of the group of hated ronin known as Miburo. This could be very interesting. Who would later become known as Shinsengumi. Inspired by the efforts of the so-called Blue Wolves of Mibu, Neo decides to join the ranks and help carve a path to the world he wishes to see. But with new betrayals and reversals every day, will Neo be able to come back or stay true to his conscience? This looks really good. I'm really curious on how they're going to portray Okita Soji in this. That has very, very promising stuff. Let's see here. Let the Grieving Soul retire. I've heard that's going to be pretty alright. That might throw that on there. There's just so much in his season. New Love Live. Oh my god. Is there anything else that really stands out? Let me know down below if there's anything else for you guys that stands out. I think a bunch of these are probably going to fly under my radar. Yeah, a lot of these are going to fly under my radar until someone tells me. But they have a bunch of big bangers in the beginning. Prince of Tennis is getting an, what is this, an OVA, I think? Getting more stuff to it. There's a golf anime that's getting a second season. There's some slime anime. Idol Masters getting stuff. There's so much. And that's just the shows. And then that's what they say, continuing. And there's Beastars is getting a final season. That's interesting. Yeah, there's so much to this. So yeah, the ones I sat down and like pointed out and talked about, the Attack on Titan's getting the movie finally coming out this season. Gintama's getting a theatrical release there. Solo Leveling Reawakened is going to be the first 2 episodes. It's going to be the movie plus 2 episodes leading into the second season. Oh my god, there's so much. Hey look, and there's gonna be a special for Plus Size Elf. So yeah, that's all that, and that took me about 20 minutes to go through roughly, because there's so much. And like I said, there's a bunch of other shows here, but there's gonna be things that are gonna go under my radar. There are things that basically people are gonna have to tell me to look at or suggest when it comes through. So we will see. I think there are gonna be some hidden gems in there. But let me know what you guys think. I showed you what I'm going to watch, and then like near the end of the season, when everything's about wrapped up, I'll talk about what I actually ended up watching, what I ended up dropping, what I ended up picking up that I didn't mention in this list. So let me know what you guys think. Love you all, appreciate you, and I will see you all next time. Bye-bye.